Conflicting rent rates, unreliable math, credit abatements, net calculation. Let me go to. So this is where I have like all my. Yeah, this is what I filed. And it's like reoccurring 1750 rent charges. I provided so much evidence, and they provided none. Zero to back up anything I'm saying.
They just trying to easily, just
You muted that too, right? You muted. Yeah. But go ahead.
they just care about the money and fix it.
Yeah.
You know, they don't even talk about nothing else. They don't want to defend themselves about nothing or whatever.
Yeah.
Whatever they say, it benefit you.
Yeah, like it's like it's like they gave it to me, like they wanted me to win. Like they, I think so.
You want to see that move where you at? 2 weeks ago, you want to see it today. And then another level. You want to see the same God from back then, the same God. You know that. This is all the struggle.
I know how happy my kids are. They're good kids.
I believe he bring you this guy to easy.
That's exactly what Amanda said like a year ago, and then like
I see it now.
And then Buddy said that just the other day. He goes, "Mom, Amanda was right. Maybe."
I see it now.
Yeah, like he does help us ease the pain because Buddy said like it would be so much scarier if we or sadder like when we look at the cat bowl, or something.
Yeah.
Like after she goes, like or see a cat on TV or whatever.
But that look like her or whatever. Yeah.
Yeah, that'd be painful. But I know that God is comforting us in this time.
She was there for you guys for all these years, and she was good to you guys, and you guys were good to her, And then that's why another one came. You feel me?
Yeah.
This one came by itself. You know that.
Yeah, he chose us. He chose us.
You have to look
That's a blessing.
The good stuff that without you noticing, God knows.
Mm-hmm.
Really think about
it. Yeah. And we were learning in like right at that time, when I was doing the homeschool, we were learning about ancient Egypt, and in Egypt they believed that like cats were gods. So if you took in a cat and took care of it, then you were blessed. Like that, like you would have like overwhelming blessings because the gods were shining on you for taking care of a cat. And he came right around that time when we were just learning that. I was like, that's the gods blessing us.
And easy and slowly he came attached and more attached. Look at him now.
And he loves us. Like, I mean, he still doesn't like me that much, but he lets me pet him.
The other cat, I said to him too,
Yeah, eventually, like they started sniffing each other, like when they see each other.
Yeah, I think she was being very good by, and without noticing, you know how for the last 3 months maybe she started coming outside a lot. Remember, when we was there, she was coming out every time.
And then
she was trying to spend some time with you. You know what I mean? You remember that? Yeah. That's good. But you did. We were there with her. Remember?
Yeah.
She would come outside and sit right by. But she never thought that.
No, and she's been doing it more and more. And like she'll like lay on me, and she smells so bad. So I felt so bad because there was a couple of times where I'd hold her for a second, but I'm like, but it wasn't her fault.
No, it's the age, Mama. It's time for her to go.
But I was angry with her for peeing everywhere, but I just didn't know,
But you never screamed at her though, right?
Huh?
No, yeah, I never saw you.
No, I never hit her or anything like that. But I would go, bad kitty, bad kitty.
It's okay.
But I didn't know she couldn't control it. Yeah, she know, and that's why I put her next to me because she stopped crying once I put her on the bed. Like she stopped.
I cried last night. I didn't know she was like that. I mean, when you said she didn't want me.
Yes, yeah, you heard her right. And then ever since I put her in the room, she doesn't do that. That's what she wanted. She wanted to be next.
You see how she was jumping in the bed? Yeah, that's okay. It's good. Let it out. That's how animals.
Okay.
Good morning. Can you hear me?
Good morning.
Good morning.
Yes, Your Honor. Can you hear me okay?
Okay. Mr. O'Neill, who are you representing? Plaintiff?
I represent the plaintiff landlord, Your Honor.
Okay. And then I have is it Godin or Godin?
Miss Godin.
Godin. Okay. Miss Godin. I didn't get either one of those right.
It's okay.
Miss Godin, good morning. And then Mr. Nikolic?
Nikolic, yes.
Nikolic, okay. And then who are you? Who are you with? The plaintiff?
Yes.
Okay. And then what is your connection to the plaintiff?
Myself, I'm the property manager.
Property manager, okay. And then I have somebody calling in. I can't see them from 774 and then the number ending in 73.
Mike, is that you on the phone?
Yes. Hello. Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, hi. Is that your
doing? Baudilio Morales.
I'm sorry, what is your name?
Baudilio Morales. I'm with Janelle Golden.
What is your name?
Baudilio Morales.
Okay, I need to see you if you're going to give any testimony today. This is not Miss Godin. Who are you talking to? Is he right behind you?
Sorry. Yeah, he is here.
Okay, well, he can come on the camera.
Okay.
I mean, that's kind of silly.
Yeah, he just got on the phone. I don't know. I'm just really nervous. I'm sorry.
Okay, so is this a witness?
Yes.
You're gonna testify to what?
He was here for the incident on Labor Day where Dean Nikolic, I provided the ring footage for it, but he was here in
We're here to determine what your rent is.
Okay.
And what you need to put into the registry.
Okay.
So if his testimony is going to any other defenses that you may have raised, we don't reach that into another hearing until you put all the money that I require you to put into the registry.
Okay.
Okay. So is his testimony relevant to your rent? Okay, all right. And then I think I added your client, Michael, is it Barron?
Yes.
Okay. Mr. Barron, do you have a camera? I can't see you.
For some reason, it's not allowing me to use it. Right now, I'm on the browser. I'm going to try using it on my phone.
Okay. All right. So anybody who's going to testify today, so Ms. Godin, and then my guess is Mr. Nikolic, and then Mr. Barron, I'll wait till you get on the camera. I'll have you raise your right hand to testify. Do you swear and affirm the testimony you're about to give shall be the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth?
I do.
Yes.
Okay.
I do.
Okay, so we're here for a rent determination hearing. I've reviewed the complaint and the lease and all of the documents that have been filed up until today even. And I think 3 everything's filed by Ms. Godden, and then there was a note, a response to the motion to determine rent on the 10th. So I've looked at everything. The complaint is a complaint for eviction and damages. Today we're going to discuss what's owed into the registry as it relates to rent. And then, Ms. Godden, if whatever I determine your rent is, by the end of today, by 4 p.m. today, the statute requires me to require you to immediately put that rent into the court registry, okay? Plus any applicable court fees or clerk fees. So it's alleging in the complaint, which was filed on October 23rd, that the rent that is owed on the 3-day notice, just pulling that up. So on October 16th, the 3-day notice said that rent was due in the amount of $6,500. We're now into November. So November's rent would be tacked onto that as well if that's what I determine the rent to be. So Mr. O'Neill, I don't know how you want to handle this, if you want to take her testimony or if you want to take your client's testimony or your witness's testimony, and then I can certainly ask Ms. Godden questions about what she believes the rent should be once you've established that. I don't know if that's the way you want to handle it today.
I think so. It's a very narrow one, so I'll just inquire with the tenant.
And if you're talking about specific portions of the lease, I have reviewed it, so I've looked at, and I know that Ms. Godden has disputed some of the things that you have raised, including the month-to-month rent. I've looked at that provision as well, so if you could just direct me under any subsections that you're referencing so that everybody can look at the lease and know what we're talking about, okay?
Thank you, Your Honor. Ms. Godin, my name is Jason O'Neill, and as you know, I represent the landlord. The lease is attached to the complaint, and you've also attached a copy of it. Does the lease say that the monthly rent amount is $15.75 per month?
Yes.
And did you make an agreement with the landlords to reduce that to pay $1,500 flat for the month of August?
No. The agreement was actually that the July and August would be waived.
Okay. Other than the settlement agreement that was offered, and you've attached that document to some of your, strike that, sorry. Does the lease agreement say that the rent is due on the first day of the month?
I guess.
Your Honor, can I share my screen?
Yeah, I'm reading the lease, but you can certainly share your screen.
Let me see this. Yeah, no, go a little faster
Yeah,
here.
I could see that it says that.
Okay. Just let me know. Can you see the
Yes, I
lease
see.
up on your screen? Okay. So it says here in this paragraph it's due on the first day of the month. Do you see that a late fee of 10% is on about the fourth line down?
Yes.
And then it says that the late fee, 10% plus $5 per day, shall be due as additional rent. Do you see that?
Uh-huh.
And then I'm just going to scroll to the $150 month-to-month fee. It's under renewal. Do you admit that the lease says that the rent will be increased by $150 per month at the end of the term when you go month-to-month?
Yeah.
And so I'm bad at math, that's why I went to law school, but 10% of the monthly rent, if the rent is $15.75 plus $150, would be a late fee of $172.50. Is that right?
I don't know.
Okay, I think that's right. But do you live in the property right now?
Yes.
And did you live there during August, September, October, and then up to now, the 12 days in November?
Yeah.
And Did you try to pay August rent?
He agreed to waive the August and July rent on July 30th. So no, he told me he told me I did not need to pay.
Okay. In exchange for what did he offer? And who's the he you're talking about?
Dean. And it was because of the agreement that we made because of the electric bills and the excessive, because of the pool pump timer maintenance issue that had been going on since February 2022. And so we spoke on July 22nd, the same day that I did the notice to withhold for the maintenance issue. It's still ongoing. They canceled the service request that I made in the portal in October, and this has been going on for 4 years, and I'm so tired of it. I really am. And so I spoke with Dean, and I asked him to please, in good faith efforts. These landlords are being abusive in the situation, and I asked him to please help me because I can't. I'm sorry I didn't hear you.
I didn't want to cut you off.
Sorry, I muted myself because I was coughing, so I forgot to. I said just answer the questions that he's asking.
Okay.
Okay.
So, Ms. Gooden, I'm going to share my screen again, and just to refresh your recollection, wasn't the agreement that the landlords would waive the rent that you're talking about for August and September if you signed the agreement to vacate that I'm showing you now?
That was after the verbal agreement. The verbal agreement was that he would waive the rent. So that was after, which is again coercion, because now that's why I didn't know what to pay, is because of that document.
Okay. And then you already admitted in your answer, but you received the 3-day notice. I understand that you dispute the amounts listed there, but you admit that you received it, right?
The four different versions, yes, I've received 4 defective, fraudulent notices, yes.
Okay. Your Honor, I have no further questions for this or any other witness. Sorry, tender the witness if the court wants to. She wants to.
I'm going to wait till we're all done, and then if I have any questions, we'll get there. And then, Mr. Barron, I see you now. I didn't get to swear you in, so raise your right hand. Do you swear and affirm the testimony you're about to give shall be the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth? Okay, you're on mute. I saw your lips move, but.
I do.
Okay, all right, thank you. And then, Mr. O'Neill, whichever witness you wanted to call.
I don't have any other witnesses, Your Honor.
Okay, all right. So, Miss Godin, I'm gonna have you tell me. Well, let me ask you some questions first of all. So you say there was an oral agreement. When did you make this oral agreement to waive? You said July and August.
Correct. The first conversation was on July 22nd. Well, the first no, I'm sorry. Let me backtrack. Was June 28th. I sent an email because they were trying to increase the rent, which I disagreed with. And they asked for my thoughts on it, so I gave my thoughts, and I listed all my complaints that I've had for all these years of the maintenance that was not addressed, and the rent increase that was too much. And so I asked them for an abatement, basically. And then he said no. And so then I asked, or no, then on the maintenance, I'm so sorry. On the maintenance line.
My question was, when did you have this verbal agreement?
Okay, I'm sorry.
For June and July and August.
July, August 2nd. I mean, July 30th. 31st, I think. I'm sorry.
It was at the end of July. There was 3 conversations that I had.
Okay, so and you're saying you gave a notice to withhold rent.
Correct.
Okay, there's certain instances where you can withhold rent under 83.51. Okay, unless it's in the lease. Okay, and the landlord is agreeing to do certain things on the property, like maintain the pool pump or the issues that you're having, right? The statute 8351 only requires a landlord to do certain things. Okay, some of them seem silly, but like screens on your windows, and maintaining the roofs, maintaining windows, for health codes, and porches, exterior walls, foundations, other structural components. So where in the lease can you point me to where it's the landlord's responsibility to do the specific things that you withheld rent for?
The
Because
lease?
if it's not in the statute, it has to come from the lease. Because if you then look at 83.56, if the landlord materially fails to comply with 83.51 subsection 1 or material provisions of the rental agreement within 7 days after you send them that notice, okay, the written note, that you're withholding rent, you can terminate the rental agreement. Okay, so if they're doing something that violates the lease, or they're doing something that violates 83.51, you can then send them that notice and withhold rent, and if they don't fix it and get in compliance with the statute or the lease, you get to terminate the lease, okay? If it's beyond the control of the landlord and they make and continue to make every reasonable effort to correct the failure to comply, the rental agreement may be terminated or altered by the parties, okay? If I don't think the pool issue renders anything untenable or uninhabitable, and so I'm asking you where in the lease, because it's not coming from the statute, okay? So where in the lease is the landlord required to do the things that you withheld rent for?
He did hire an unlicensed handyman to install the pool pump timer that was faulty and causing me to have electricity issues, which he
Who's
acknowledged.
required to deal with the pool pump? Whose
The
responsibility is the
Dean
pool pump?
and Michael Barron are responsible because they put it on the service request in the when I made the request for maintenance, they acknowledged it, and then they did end up sending an electrician after 10 months and 4 years of me complaining about this issue. And Mike Barron, every time that I'd speak to him about this issue, he'd say, just turn it off when I leave. And when I told him I cannot do that, because I don't always know when you're here. It was causing thousands of dollars in electricity issues. And they just ignored them every single time. And
Did you ever say I want to move out?
I wanted to. I do still want to. I found an apartment that's across the street, but that's what I've been telling Dean. I said, work with me, and he keeps lying to me and
You're
saying,
on a month-to-month. You're not stuck in a lease.
I know,
this
but
is where I guess
the
we're finding
problem
a problem.
is like I'm having so much anxiety from all of this and having to I'm a teacher and I am trying my best, but during the summer I was on a forced vacation, and because of all this stress that they have been putting on me over the summer, I have not been able to do Ubers to make money, and I got a second job in September to.
I'm sorry about
I'm
the
trying.
financial issues
I
that
am
you're
trying.
having, but I'm stuck by the statutes and your contract, okay? So there's
And
a
so
written
am I.
contract here that everybody is bound by. Mr. O'Neill, you probably know this lease better than me. I'm looking through the lease. Anything related, I don't know if it's under utilities, because I think that the issue is this pool pump causing the electricity to go up, but the tenant's responsible for all of the utilities.
Correct, Your Honor. And the only place place that the word pool is mentioned is at the bottom of page 2, and it does not have any of the things that.
Basically, they can't put in a pool.
Correct. They can't put above ground pools.
Right, that's what I saw. Because I was trying to find anything about related to the pool, who's responsible for anything related to the pool. But that's why I asked Ms. Godden, because Ms. Godden, you're filing a lot of things saying I withheld rent because of all of these things, but you're bound by the lease because these are not things that the statute requires them to do.
What about my rights? My rights have been
Your rights are
violated.
under the, your rights
My
your rights, stop talking. Your rights come under the lease. That's your contract. So you abide by your contract. You're responsible for paying anything related to the things under your lease, all your utilities.
utilities, yes.
The first sentence, landlord is responsible for providing the following utilities only. None. You're responsible for tenant
I'm
agrees
not
to pay
arguing
all
that
the
the
charges
utilities.
and deposits for all other utilities, and tenant agrees to have all accounts for utilities. So if at some point this became such a big issue where you couldn't pay, you were in a month-to-month, you could have terminated your lease. You could have just moved out.
I know that, but I couldn't because I have nowhere to go.
That's not their problem, though.
But
So
it is their problem because I'm not asking for the utilities. I'm asking for him to repair a dangerous and hazardous and defaulted appliance that they own of their property. I'm not responsible for that. And they have harassed me and pushed me to the limit and it's just not fair. This is not fair.
Ms. Garden, I'm bound by your lease, okay? So, Mr. O'Neill, what is it that you believe up to now? Because I'm looking at the lease, I see that the original lease rent was the $15.75. It then became month to month. The lease or the monthly rent increased by $150. That brings us to $1,725. Is my math correct?
Yes, Your Honor, for 4 months.
And that's for $17.25 for 4 months, and then you have a 10% late fee. So $172.50 is 10% of $17.25.
Yes, Your Honor.
Okay, and then is that for 4 months as well?
Yes, Your Honor. As of now, the rent is late for November as well.
Your Honor, can I say something?
Hold on. Okay, so we're talking August, September, October, November, or
Yeah.
July, August?
No, just August.
Okay, so August through November. I'm not going to tack on, your complaint was filed October 23rd. I'm not going to tack on a late fee. She filed the motion to determine that, we're here for that. Okay, so the late fees would be applicable for August through October. Okay.
Or August through September.
Okay. Yes, correct. Okay. All right, Ms. Carter, what is it that you wanted to say? Because you're not. There's nothing in the lease that requires them to fix what it is that they may be fixing it or trying to fix it, but nothing. You
They
can't
have
point
not.
to me, and I can't find anything in the lease that says that they're required to do that.
The issue is that I had no idea what to pay because of how many times they changed it. 1 minute it's $1,500, and now the lawyer is saying it's $1,725.
I'm going by your lease.
But-
I'm going by your lease.
But the
I'm
lease
going
says
by your lease.
$1,575, and
And
then
then
the
if you look at
holdover would be
paragraph-
$150 per month.
You go under renewal on page 5. It says, if the required notice is not given by the landlord or tenant, this is to not renew your lease, and no new lease is signed, the tenancy shall become a month-to-month tenancy, which may be terminated by the tenant or landlord, giving written notice not less than 15 days prior to the end of lease a monthly payment period. In the event the lease becomes a month-to-month tenancy, tenant agrees that the monthly rent will increase by $150. All other conditions of the lease remain in effect.
I understand, but that math would be 1,725, and I've been paying 1,750 per month for 2 years since this went month to month, and the math is incorrect on what they've said.
Mr. O'Neill, do you want to take some testimony about what rent she's paid? Because she hasn't. The problem is that I don't have documentation about all of the rent that was paid.
I do. I have.
Are you so Ms. Godin? You're trying to get a credit
Yes.
for $25 a month?
Well, also not just that. It's also the fact that they said that it would be waived for July and August to help me so that I could find another place to move. And I also.
You're saying that was You're saying that was orally made. The document that Mr. O'Neill showed me said that that was a written agreement that you didn't sign, that you didn't agree to.
This, and before he sent that agreement to be signed, we have text exchanges that I did file that show that he was willing to continue and let me stay here until I could find a place to move, because I did agree to move. I want to move. I don't want to live here.
Right now, my determination is what you owe for rent. So I'm trying to figure out if there's any evidence that you paid more than you should have.
I do. I have the ledger. I can show you the ledger.
This oral agreement, any modification,
Yes,
and
I
again,
have all of that.
as well, has to be in writing and signed by all the parties.
Yes.
So any oral agreement, I'm not taking that into
Sure.
consideration. Okay?
I understand.
If you signed something that decreased or increased your rent, then that would be something that I would be able to consider. Okay?
Okay.
So I guess the issue right now is that you're wanting to get credit for how many months did you pay $25 more, you're saying?
24 months. So it'd be $1,200.
All right, Mr. O'Neill, do you want to take some testimony about that? Because I don't really think that that's relevant to what we're dealing with right now.
I don't think it is, but by my calculations, my clients didn't charge her the late fees, even though they statutorily can, because it says additional rent. And so I would stipulate to $1,200 reduction off of the, my math was 7140. So if Ms. Godin wants to just deduct the $1,200 and deposit, I think that's $5,940 if I did my math right. But whatever the reduction is, I would stipulate. I do have a ledger, and Dean can testify as to all these payments, but I think in the essence of judicial economy is $1,200 stipulation on the rent due would be fine.
Okay, so I'm adding the $1,725, which is what rent is according to the lease, okay, times 4. That gives me $6,900. Then I added the late fees of the $172.50. You said that was for 3. We said that was for 3 months, correct?
Yes, Your Honor.
Can I
Hold on, I'm doing some math. Okay, $7,417.50. Is that where you came, Mr. O'Neill? Because
Yes.
then you want me to subtract 1,200,
Yes, Your Honor.
and that's your credit for her paying any additional, or just
Yeah, what I'll stipulate to is, just for the purposes of the rent determination, so that we can avoid having to put these. I've got a ledger, I've got a payment history, and so that we can avoid additional testimony. I'll stipulate that.
because she's saying if she were to be accurate, then she's saying she paid $25 a month for 24 months, right?
Correct.
That's $600. Okay, so 1,200 is double that.
Oh, it's only $600.
No, it's 24 months.
25 times 24 is 600.
Oh,
Yeah, landlord would stipulate to a reduction in $600.
Also, I have a text that I can show you where they admitted to the OUC liability, and that's why they put 1,500. The 6,900 that you're seeing is not what they put on the original complaint. They changed the math, and they changed it from 1,500 for July and August.
Listen to me. Your defenses cannot be raised here today. You have to put all of the money that I determine your rent is right now into the court registry, and then you get to a final hearing, and you have to continue to put rent as it accrues on the first day of the month, if that's not a weekend or a holiday, into the court registry, or you don't get to a final hearing. And that's when you get to present any defenses that you have, okay? If you have defenses at that time, then I'll consider them, but that's not going to be considered today.
But it's directly related to the rent. It's the 1,500 for July and August is what they originally put in their complaint from this.
I'm determining what the rent is based on the lease right now. Okay. So I'm coming up with $7,417.50, and I'm gonna minus the $600. So I'm gonna take into account your $25 payments per month. Okay, and Mr. O'Neill stipulating to that. For purposes of today's hearing. And I get $6,817.50.
Yes, Your Honor, I didn't say that.
So, Ms. Godin, by 4 p.m. today, you have to deposit $6,817.50 plus any clerk registry fees into the court registry. If you do that, I will schedule it for a final hearing, and then you'll have to, if it's not before December 1st, you have to put December 1st rent in, which will be $1,725. That's the monthly rent. So I don't know when a final hearing will be scheduled if you put the money in. If you don't put the money in, they're entitled to a default final judgment. So if you can't do that by today, you may want to reach out to Mr. O'Neill to see if there's some agreement to vacate that you can come to, so you don't end up with a final judgment on your record, okay? Because that's not something that people want to deal with, okay? So Mr. O'Neill, if she can't do that, can she call you before
Absolutely.
4 and see if you all can work something out? I'm not, based on what she was testifying to about her financial situation, I'm not sure if she can do that. But I never know what people can do or can't do, okay? So.
As a matter of course, we will send over a settlement offer outside the court's purview for a specific time, certain date, so that she can have time.
That'd be great.
Okay, so, Mr. O'Neill, do you think you could just prepare a quick order as it relates that I determine the rent is the $1,725 per month. She owes for August, September, October, and November. The late fee was applied for August, September, and October.
Yes, Your Honor.
And then you agreed, and I took into account any $25 monthly payment for 24 months, which equates
Yes, Your
to
Honor.
$600, which is how we came to the $6,817.50, which we subtracted the $600 from the $7,417.50.
Yes, Your Honor. We'll draft that. We'll run it by the tenant, and we'll submit it to Chambers.
Well, you can just submit it to me. I'll change anything if it needs to get changed, because I want to get the order in as soon as possible. The other thing that I wanted is that going forward, the rent needs to be deposited by on the 1st of every month, unless it's a weekend or a court holiday, and then it would be the next business day, and that be at the $1,725.
Yes, Your Honor. We'll include that language.
Okay, and then I don't know if you can get that to me by 1:30 or 2 o'clock.
Yeah.
And then Ms. Godin, I wish you the best of luck. I hope that you're able to make the payment. If not, then I'm sure Mr. O'Neill will work with you for like a vacate date, okay? And he'll let me know if you guys have worked something out.
Yeah, sure.
Okay. Anything else that anybody wanted to address as it relates to the order? Any questions as it relates to the order?
None from me, Your Honor.
Scottin, any questions about the order itself? You're clear on what your obligation is. You're nodding your head, so.
Thank you, Your Honor. I have nothing further. May I be excused?
Yes, thank you, everybody. Have a good day.
Motherfucker, huh? They don't want to hear.
God didn't save me.
No,
God didn't do it.
no, this is he's doing it, man. This is not over, man. Like, you gotta go. You have to. What are you gonna do? You're gonna, you don't want to hear. That's not how you do it.
God failed me time. One of his bones.
Yeah.
God lied to me. He hates me. He's
No.
punishing me. He
It's not funny to me. It's just negative shit that is already there that you need to.
They lied in the judge.
They are lying. I'm here with you. You see how same attitude? That's what happened to me. That day I felt because they didn't even they manipulate you how you want it. They don't want to hear you. And every time you see you try to talk and they're like, you don't want to hear you.
Didn't let me say shit.
No.
Didn't let me
No.
argue my case, and he got to say whatever the hell he wanted.
So the thing is,
What am I gonna do? I can't believe they did that.
it's so much
I
money.
hate my life. It's not fair. It's not. This isn't fair. It's just like the lawyers. I'm just like. God's a liar. God's a liar. He doesn't care about the widows and the children. He doesn't care.
No,
He
this is
doesn't care about my life. He doesn't care that my parents are dying. And I don't know the money.
remember what happened to her? Yeah, no, he died from it. And this is not it. This is not it. I swear to God. This is not it. He wants you to leave. You're gonna prosper. You have to leave. We have to figure out how we're gonna do it now. What you gonna need? How much you gonna need for a new place? Or, you know?
I can't do it. I can't just want to kill myself.
No. Huh?
I just want to kill myself. I can't.
No,
I can't.
don't say that. Don't say that. You see these animals? Look how they're looking at you.
I can't take care of them.
You
They
got-
could be better off without me.
No. We gotta figure it out. We really have to figure it out. I don't know. Maybe I don't know how much she's gonna want. I'm supposed to sell my car today this afternoon, and it's like I'm supposed to put the bumper back on after 2. They're gonna come, and it's like a for sure thing. I'll give you that money. I don't care. You know, but
I want to smoke.
everything's wrong with you. Only this fucking this house is not in the same. Who had been on here? A lot of people.